don't have your money, it messes with your mind.
I can't think straight.
Can't think straight. And so we got all these people now that are out there and they're bubbling and they're like, oh man, but we can't run off. Democrats just need to just hold tight. Because what I've always said is that, everybody's like, we need to go out and we need to do this. You know what? We don't have the numbers in Congress right now. We got to let the people see the dysfunction of the Republicans.
Exactly.
They were dysfunctional last time.
Exactly.
This past Congress, right? But they would turn around and try to blame stuff on the Democrats. Well, they in control of everything.
They run the whole thing now.
They run the whole thing.
So they got to take ownership of it.
They got to take ownership. They have the presidency, they have the Senate, and they have the House.
Exactly.
Right. So what we have to do is allow, of course, we got to, we can't just say do nothing, right? But, and I'm going to get to that in a sec. But the thing is, we got to just let them keep marinating.
Exactly.
In their what? In their aggressive posture.
Exactly.
We have to let them marinate, right, into all this craziness and chaos.
When
right?
When the mortgage is not being paid, when the kids can't go to school,
That's
when
correct.
they don't have any food and they lost the farm, they're going to wake up.
Right.
They're going to be forced to.
Right, because you got to do what? You got to give the people what they want.
Bingo.
Last time, the farmers, when Trump started all that trade war stuff, they sat there, and I believe the figure was like $60 billion over time. They bailed out those farmers, right, who couldn't sell their soybeans and sorghum and all that stuff to other countries anymore.
Exactly.
We gave them $60 billion. So guess what? Those people were like, oh, man, well, he started all this, man, but, I got 60 bills, so, I ain't feel it.
Yeah.
Right? We can't bail. We can't be a part of bailing out nobody.
No, we have to let them feel it because that's what they wanted.
That's what they
chose
wanted.
it.
You got to let them feel it.
And what you just said, the trade war, that's something that it actually, it affects so many people. It don't just affect the former. Like I tell people don't know what I do on the side as well. I work for a high-end audio company that makes high-end electronics, some of the best stuff in the world. I do that on the side. Some people are like, what are you doing with the speakers and audio stuff? Well, the company that I work with is based in Canada. So I import equipment that's $20,000, $60,000, cabling that's anywhere from $2,000 to $6,000 that comes over from Canada to the United States, and it's affecting our business.
Right, yeah. And the thing is that he hasn't even imposed all the sanctions and tariffs that he's talking about doing.
Bingo.
And you know what? This is the funniest thing. I'm sitting here when Trump came into office in 2016. He said that the NAFTA deal was horrible between Canada, United States, and Mexico, right? And he went through it and he pitched his little old, fanny about it, and then he came up with this new deal, right? Which he called the USMC, United States, Mexico, Canada. New deal. This is a great new deal. This, that, and the other, so-and-so. Now, he's saying that Canada and Mexico are ripping us off, right?
Exactly.
And he's going to impose these additional tariffs against both of them, right? And then he says, what idiot entered into this deal? You did.
You did it.
You did it in 2016.
And one would say you brought that on yourself.
Yeah, when you redid the deal.
You brought that on yourself.
So he's telling us some idiot did it. He's confessing.
Yeah. You're the idiot.
You are the idiot. Right?
We're not making this up. Mike Todd is not making this up. We have the receipts. We're not making it up.
Can't make it up.
And this ain't personal. It's just telling the truth. Look, a lot of people are hurting. This is the truth. This is just not some political thing when people are going to be hurting because of some of these policies. And these folks voted for them. And these farmers, I'm telling you, they're going to be hurt real bad.
Oh, yeah, but it's not just, it's going to be a lot of different people. A lot of different people.
Yeah.
Because what we saw in Georgia this past week,
Town hall.
They had a town hall. They had a Republican congressman there.
Yes.
And I didn't see no black people on the screen, right?
I didn't either. I saw that. I don't know.
I looked at the whole clip. It was about 5 minutes worth.
Exactly.
And I didn't see one black person in there. And it was a lot of people in there. It wasn't overflow, but it was a good crowd there.
Yeah, good, nice crowd.
And they were like, hey, what is going on here?
They were pissed.
Why are we allowing this maniac to topple and to destroy our country like he's doing?
Exactly.
And what are you going to do about it?
And see, that's the issue. Some of the stuff they wanted to do, he's doing. But there's also the other 60, 70% of stuff that he's doing that is really hurting them, that is directly hurting them.
Right.
And now they're looking at their representatives, their House of Representatives and their senators and saying, hey, man, aren't you going to say something about this? And those guys are going, what? I don't want to.
Yeah, I don't. But you know what? I don't even want them to say anything right now, right? Mm-hmm. Because if a whole lot of them start saying something right now, then he might try to correct some, right? Mm-hmm. No, just let him. And the reason I know he won't, though, is because I'll never forget this, man. I was in church maybe 4 years ago when Trump was in office. And one of the pastors has said that, that God was omniscient, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
He said, if I gave him all my knowledge, he's not going to be any smarter, right? Mm-hmm. If I gave him all my riches, he ain't going to be no richer.
Exactly.
Because he is, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Omniscient, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so the very next day, Donald Trump said that he was that he had the most wisdom out of anybody in the world. So I was like, so if we gave him more wisdom today, right? If I gave him more wisdom or some wisdom, it wouldn't increase his level of wisdom because he already got it. And when I heard him say that, I was like, this man think he God.
Well, see, once again, we talked about this earlier. I cannot vote for somebody who feels that way because I've always been taught. I was raised by some old people. We always talk about this. Man, the guy who trains me, he said raised by grandparents.
Right.
And raised by grandparents is a little different because your grandparents will teach you. You can always learn something. I don't care if you're 99 or 100, 105. You can always learn something. But people like that, you can't tell them nothing.
Right.
They think they've learned and they know all.
But the thing is, that's what's going to be the beauty of it. Because he's going to end up giving the people what they want because he thinks he's so smart that there's no way he could be wrong on his course of action.
Of course.
You follow what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So even though if people start coming to him, right, he going to say, no, y'all don't know nothing.
Y'all know
way.
I got it.
I got this.
I know what's best for you.
Yeah.
I know you think you know what's best for you,
right.
but we know what's best for you.
Right. He's going to be like an abusive husband.
Exactly.
She think what I think.
Exactly. You know what I tell people, man, these people that come in, I do VR. These people come to court, I want to drop the charges. Like, no. What they're going to do, they're going to look at you and say, we know you think you know what's best for you, but we know what's best for you. You don't.
Right.
We know what's best for you.
So kiss Johnny goodbye. He about to go.
He going in.
He going in.
And see, that's just what it is.
Right.
And that's the concern I have. People who can't be taught anything, who will not change their course of direction when something happens that they see is clear, those people scare me.
Right.
Because I need to know, listen, if I'm driving a car and a boulder starts rolling across the road, you need to slow down, turn to the left, you need to do something. You don't need to speed up and go faster.
Right.
And see, those are the things that I worry about just out of common sense. But when you have somebody like this, he thinks he knows all, he does all, and he can't learn anything from anybody. Right. And there is no course correction. He already know the course.
Right. Now, the one thing is this, I know we're coming up to the end of the show here. And so people have always asked, well, what can we do? Because, before the election, we were talking about we got to get out, we got to vote, we got to register, this, that, and the other. We came up short, right? And so people are now saying, hey, look, so I've already said one thing, hey, we're going to have to let people feel the effects of their decision. But there's one other thing that we need to do, and this is something that I'm putting together now, is that there are organizations, right? We just talked about this lawsuit that was filed to combat the DEI executive order. One of the organizations that filed that lawsuit was a group called Democracy Forward, right? We've got the NAACP that are filing suits.
Exactly.
We have the ACLU that are filing suits.
Exactly.
We have to support
those organizations
because they are fighting for us. And what I'm going to do by the next time, because I've started working on this, what I'm going to try to do is maybe connect with a couple of these organizations, right? And kind of come up with some type of deal that if we contribute to that organization, that they can keep track of the people who sign up that are listeners of the show.
Exactly.
And so if we got people to do $200 a month, right, for
Exactly.
a year, right? If you did $200 a month, that's $2,400 that you would give to this organization, right? And I'm just giving a figure. But if we get 100 people
To do that.
then we talking about what? 240,000.
Exactly.
You follow what I'm saying?
And we can use that to file these suits and to make sure that they're held accountable, to make sure that these organizations have the resources that they need to be able to do what they need to do for us.
And if we can also track that our contributions, our people's contributions are the ones that are doing that, we can also have some say of what lawsuits they file.
Bingo.
Right?
Bingo.
So we're working on that.
We're going to work on that. And see, this is the legal standpoint of Michael Todd, and he's talking about legally doing something that politically can help us. And that's what we got to start doing. We have to start thinking about, what do we do now? How do we move forward? And how do we stop some of this before too many of us get hurt by it?
You know, hey, until next month. Hey, we did this the fourth Saturday of the month rather than the third. I was sick last week, but I'm looking forward to seeing everybody again next third Saturday of the month, and we'll take it from there. But hey, greatly appreciate everybody watching Legal Standpoint. Reverend Williams, Lisa Taylor, Ed Gray. Yeah, I thought you were speaking somewhere. Sydney Todd, everybody. Angela Bedford, Yvette. Hey, happy to see all y'all.
Yes. Thanks.
Bye.
Goodbye.